Oh, that's not fair. It didn't even wait for me to press the button. Go into the store. You had one of those days? I had a real good day, you know? I had a real good day. And then, like, I'm going to sharing it with folks. I got the right trigger. You, everybody talks about triggers like they're always bad. You know, there's no more context do I hear on people saying, you know, of the good things. You got to trigger those good things too, y'all. You can't just forget that. Oh, you messed this thing up. I knew it when it was happening. It was already coming apart and it's starting to break. Of course, it's not going to fully break. It's all mangled and dinosaur now. The phone carrier thing. Such an incredible tool. Gift from my friends. They took it to. They took it to the Grand Canyon. It's been there. I would love to go. I'm going vicariously through this phone stick. It's been there. I want to go. Bada boom, bada bam. The essence of it, I'm taking it in. I close my eyes. I see the canyon. I like what I see. I like that. I like it. How many gifts do you use? How many attempts do you make daily on doing other shit? Did you hear that? My God, my stomach just gave a testimonial. What the fuck? Yeah, it did. It went. I had to shut up and listen. It was speaking. People joke all the time. Um, really negative. We're all so negative. We don't forget to be back positive. I'm listening to a story. I did reiterated it because it brought so many things together, and then where I needed to participate, I mean, I did as soon as I could because I had to share this experience, and it was good because it's on another channel that I know is also aware of my own self and doing doing the same things. You know, speaking to a world that needs some of what you got, but also may not be able ever, at least now, to understand in the way that you're trying to go. You want a better people, you want to be a better person, you want to have the gifts you have. Well, what's the first thing you got to do? You got to listen to your instinct to like comment back. Like I had to instinctually comment back, created the domino, and I felt this before. It's not a misnomer. It's pretty freaking accurate of a description on then what occurs is you get these dominoes start falling, triggers that spiral, that uplifting spiral in your body. That's part of your body and your soul process. Part of that. See that? See the little guy? Something like that, where phenomenon begin to line up. They begin to line up. The world around you starts phenomenally uh, transforming, unfolding. The darkness of what you're not able to perceive will open up almost psychedelically, and things will begin to rapidly radiate the miraculous in another way. It happens a lot. It might have happened when you were a kid. You may forget, but I don't think you're going to be a human here on Earth. A consciousness in an embodiment is just going to have capabilities that are going to unfold and unlock. Keep point to this. Somebody made, and I watched. It's a story of baby Jesus, 5-year-old Jesus, making a ruckus in his hometown, and the AI art, and I'm certain it's AI art. I don't care, but I'm saying the AI art on the child's face at the different stages was such an add to the topic. when you're talking about a child Jesus, you're talking about a child's face illustrating like kind of how people are adults. They're adults in this world. Never thought nothing about nothing. They never have that light up in their face. Their face is never animated in the same way some person with depth that has had some experiences that you can see in their eyes. That depth, the more that you get, people say when they see someone whose eyes are not showing their soul, that something has left them and that they're in another state. You don't forget that. And just like you don't forget that, you don't fail to remember and have this peace domino. These things that coalesce and co-mingle amongst ourselves. We're creatures whose interacting is a key part of our evolution, personally and at the large scale. Now, when you get a piece and you get that feeling that you need to share that piece for someone else, it's going to do something for you physically, and you'll feel it, and it'll start to happen. It'll be so fast, and before you know it, you're going to have a snowball in your hands of gifts and capabilities that's more closer to what people would go to a mystery school. People would join the Hermetic Order. People would get around people who are of the type wizards will do this. They'll seek out other people that will bring upon them the sort of fuel for change that transforms emotions into raw power, that it can be used, that can then be plugged into the mind to create mind altering perceptions and things like that. You're not a single unit in the world. You're not alone. You're not even an island to yourself. You don't appreciate the other experiences that people provide you as a catalyst for your change. I had this experience with this girl, and then I had this girl contact me, and it's one of these people like I knew. And because of the experiences that I had during the Mother's Day event, and having some of these rememberings and trying to rectify a situation with my ex, really opened up this heart chakra shit a little more. And I swear to you, I had the feeling of falling in love with somebody I already knew again. It's like having melted off the bullshit human layer wax, and underneath that was like an idol, a little statue of a person, and I fell in love with them again. I fell in love with the impact and the transformative power that individual had again in my life. And it was a new type of love. It was freer. It didn't require me to have them like I needed them, like I would when I was a young man, when I needed to be possessive and all those younger quality things. The love that returned was so fiery, and it was so actually unconditional. I tried to make amends and all that. I don't get any response back, so it's like I don't even get to know if I was able to be helpful in a healing, which I don't know if is even possible, because I think you have to do some healing to get to the place to accept something like that. And it will not come. It will not come from that person. I've had to make amends with that. But what happened to me on that day, and then this other person that contacted me, the day that I last saw this person, being in the same room, there was something going on with that. Because the girl messaged me afterwards and didn't continue to keep contact. Now, they're not in the state where they could just run off and be with someone else. So, but having that person call me that same day, I'd already connected these dots. There was something going on there with something that's already going on in a deeper level. Like they know all the same. They got into all the same studies trying to find the world out and was on the level. Like this is, you don't meet people like this. How do they know? How do you? One of these phenomenons that occurs is an interpersonal thing, and it's people that come into your life. It's like when you get to the point where you can have that transformation change, you're also having to pay it back. You have to do the things you can do to really bring that light of change into someone else. You got to hit them with what they don't expect, and you got to be on the level with your own higher self and that heart connection that you be able to feel and move and be able to act when you need to, not when you can't or when you don't need to or whatever you can do. You'll have real changing ass transformative experiences. I want this Grand Canyon, and I know that this stick has been there. I've gone. I'm getting it. I can close my eyes. I will immediately see the Grand Canyon area where it was. I will begin to exercise the gifts by the use of them, by the necessity and the need to share them. They will come. This is not just bullshit talk. I wouldn't close my eyes to see if I weren't seeing something that I don't have in front of me or I'd have to imagine. It's real. And it is the way that is being spoken. I've taken the path to go to learn, teach in this direction, to make videos and talk about shit because of it, because of the necessity and some ordered path from even before this place. There's some arrangement of the life. You got to know it, that when you get to the point in time, you won't be so consumed with the wrong things in the moments to hear the still voice and to interact like that. That is a reason to live on its own. That is enough repurposing of an individual to clean your slate after the manner the Christ had said. It ain't about there being anything else. We have the capabilities already here, and we just sometimes get so caught up in the wrong things in the moments to then be in that footing, have that timing gear alignment with our soul in the way that we should. And I wanted to say it because I just had one of those experiences, and I'm open to it because I know part of it is because when you've said bye-bye to fake news on TV and you said hello to YouTube people, community, all things like that, you're going to be affected by the people that you're interacting with, because some of them you never get the chance in your life to meet. Some of them, this is the chance you get to look on the screen, to comment, to speak. This is like it when you were a young child and you watched TV and you weren't sure yet if those people were. I remember going to the movies and thinking that behind there was the movie. These notions you have as a child, they're not ignorant. They're pure. They're coming from somewhere where that is not a limitation. That is not an impossibility. And we need to remember those things for what they are and drop out of our limited thinking these things we've picked up as an adult, which are actually corruptions and limitations upon where the children were correct in some part of what they had going on. No, they weren't 100% correct about the material world and what's going on, like with the TV box. But look at where we are. Look at how more real communicating can be. And look how far away, those people on the TV box have gone to where no one wants to listen to the news like that no more. No one that's had any change in their life, no one that's tried to get some sort of awakening going on, some sort of truth seeking happening. See what I'm saying, and you'll see what I'm saying is true. That you do have to become like a child again. We do not understand these parables in the way that they were meant to be told, and that they are true and have power like you don't fucking know. And it's not your fault. It's not my fault. It's not done. Part of this I'm saying it wrong. It's like that's a new word in a way. My mind is telling me that limitated is a new word, a new form of a word, because it's a new understanding of the limits as they are, not to be staying as, but to be transcended and shut so that you can be what you should be able to become. Now, that's real shit because that's what's the birthright of humanity. That's what our capabilities have said, and you shall do more. That's some real teaching. That's not very often seen. You don't see it in the church very often. How often do you find somebody in there that can actually put their hands on you and then you're going to be healed? Where did that go? You think it's gone? It's not. It's just wrapped up in all the daily grind, all the thing I got to do. I got to pick up the kids. I got to be here at 7:00. Think of all these wrappings around of us of the flesh, and just imagine for them to be vaporized in the hot fire of a flash of heat that would just dissolve the bandages of the mummies who are alive today, again in a new bodysuit. How would you? What would it be like to encounter a mummy? You go to the museum and it's you. Have you ever put your mind in thoughts like that? You should. You shouldn't fail to entertain thoughts of some real situations that would just stir your soul. Because you know what happens when you imagine that way? Your soul is stirred. Something in you begins to wake that you find did fall asleep along the way. You can't just forget about waking up like you done it and it's over. It never ends. Existence is forever. And as baffling and as daunting of a fucking does that feel to be as you increase in age and as the body begins to wear down, there is a howling within for the power that is already inside of you and can be done at any time. Something in you like a dam can snap and wielding lightning bolts type shit. It is possible. It is not fictional. It's not very likely because of the way limited has become the adult world. Just giving you an opportunity into an insight that I'm having very strongly, that I think that if I share it, I'm doing my service. And I'm not telling you a falsity. I'm not giving you a fake hope. I'm giving you what I know I need to get what I want for me too. It's that gift that transcends this flesh, that having this flesh and the heaviness of life does bear out a reason, because there is something that animates this whole thing, some spark of divine or whatever. It ain't from monkeys, baby. Ain't no Anunnaki made it. We already got it. I don't want to hear it. Something in you knows that. And those of you that will need to hear this will hear it. And something is going to happen. And it's going to happen. If you hear it in it and I'm saying it, it's going to have what it needs to be right back in your mind. I want to be the voice that says, you remember me telling you what you need to do. You're feeling it. Don't be afraid. Just do what you got to do. Start pushing them dominoes over. because they coming down one way or the other, and you might as well be a part of it in the way that you know you can, instead of regretting it and living that life, because that ain't the way to do it.